Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's Lunas here, and today we'll be continuing the Rimworld run. We had a bit of a shorter episode last time with a raid attacking us. We did have quite a bit of trouble dealing with them. Crafter was almost useless in the last fight, which doesn't normally happen. It turns out, as we already knew, but we got to see firsthand that flame-based weapons are incredibly dangerous for vampires, and even injuries that other people would be able to tank through Crafter cannot when it comes to flame-based weaponry. So we're gonna need to prioritize targets better in the future, if we can, when it comes to raiders like these. I know this time we weren't really able to, due to lack of long-range fighters that can reliably hit targets, and due to just getting pushed back. We have been collecting Vaxstone and steel fairly efficiently. We haven't found any more steel so far, but that's fine. We are waiting on a bunch of Vaxstone to be hauled aboard. Depending on the amount, I may just continue mining. I don't think it's going to be more than 1,200 units. But we're getting through the Vaxstone that's being brought aboard quickly. So I'm going to wait until the stockpile builds up somewhat before assigning more mining to be done. Just to make sure that some work aboard the ship is being done. Lane continues his crafting, and Tree is continuing to craft components for us. The meat aboard the ship has almost all been used, so we can turn these coolers off soon, and the room will reach its regular temperature. And we should be able to start working at a much better speed. I'm probably going to move the butcher table out of this room as well, or by uninstalling it. Right, the last animal has been butchered, so we can turn everything off in here and uninstall that. The event also needs to be opened up, actually. Right, the room has heated up. Okay, we're back up to 112. That's great. Manufacturing components and graphite panels should be way quicker now. And then the bills on the table are nearly done, considering he has 2 products that are already started. Kind of struggling due to the distance to haul all of this stuff aboard. Okay, the hauling has been completed, and we can start working on the mining again. Gray gets inspired with a creativity inspiration. We have converted Rinnick, and we can now work on recruiting her. And a quest called Warden for Hire is gonna expire soon. We did decide we're not gonna do this quest, so we'll just ignore it. With the security door no longer needed for to be opened, we are going to close it back up. And I really am enjoying how aesthetic it looks on the ship, despite being from another DLC. I feel Rimworld's DLCs integrate really well together. especially when they do like smaller updates just after they release, like to patch it together better. Like, and the new content as well, like, is thought about really well when mixing in with the other DLCs. Right, it does look like the potatoes have been entirely used up, be it on food or on chem fuel. And with only 35 units left, we will need to make our exit soon. I'm gonna try and gather the remaining Vaxstone chunks that I can though before we do leave. We have a couple of mental break risks, but it shouldn't be anything too major, hopefully. Deadlift and Kiko get into a small fight, but it doesn't look like any major damage was caused. The mining work is basically complete, with the last couple of tiles being abandoned, and the chunks will now be hauled aboard. As soon as those are done, we will probably work on leaving. The Vaxstone defenses will also be deconstructed now as well, as they didn't prove to be too useful. Crafter is doing fairly well on Hemogen. He has gone up from Death Rest as well, which I didn't notice. The fact that we had 2 prisoners at once, blood feeding was okay. I forgot to set blood feed on Rinix, so I'm gonna do that now. I think as soon as we can get the resources, we should have someone, like a prisoner who's not useful, permanently on blood feeding duty. A party does occur, and we're gonna have the people who are asleep wake up. Even a +1 or a +2 to the people who are close to mental breaks or in mental break threshold would be good right now, as I just want to avoid anything bad from happening before we leave, which will hopefully happen momentarily. Lane finishes his crafting work as soon as everyone has finished their hauling work as well. We are now in a perfect position to leave, which we will do immediately. We have very little range though in terms of fuel, so it's unlikely we'll be able to head anywhere good. Mostly just for stocking up again. We are going to head somewhere with an abundant supply of marble though. Preferably with 2 rock types instead of just 1. I do decide to land on the lake, and we have a minor grav ship crash, so the colonists will set about repairing that immediately. The lake is going to be used as somewhat of a defense to slow raiders down that might want to breach the ship in places where we don't really want to be fighting. The main corridor is given access to land, and we're going to open up the spare corridor as well. This map will mostly just be focusing on restocking in terms of meat and that. We don't need the freezer anymore, and we can just hunt things as we need them. The map seems to have a decent amount of wildlife. So we'll hunt some creatures immediately, and also set about restoring the fuel situation, as that is really bad right now. The fueling for all tanks will be resumed, and I will get to work on clearing some land to make some growing space. A cougar attempts to attack Throb in revenge, but he manages to deal with it. And I will also assign some marble chunks to be hauled aboard the ship, as Crafter is going to need those to start producing more statues. Tree goes on an insulting spree, and I'm hoping someone decides to fight back. Otherwise, Mood could take a hit across the board. And I have just realized that the butcher bench needs to be reinstalled. I think I'm gonna do it in Crafter's room, just because he is the least likely to get mad, I think. And I don't want to affect Sam's mood. And I do need to reassign a stockpile. And I also need to assign a corpses stockpile for this map. That should be done now though. And now we can haul the hunted animals aboard. The pemmican, I can start dropping now as well, actually. I'm gonna put it at 3,500 for the time being. Oh no, it's already at 3,500. I can drop it further then, without risking spoilage. I'll drop it down to 2,500 as like a normal base amount, as we should still go through it fairly fast if we are just eating the pemmican and there's no new supply. Okay, after nearly an entire day, Crafter finally beats Tree out of her insulting spree. We have luckily only had one mental break occur because of it, but there could be others. I am gonna have to not do that. I'm gonna have to have him rescue Tree. And then someone can tend to her once they're up. Right, I have noticed a plasteel vein nearby, so I'm gonna set that to be mined, and hopefully if there are a couple of people not doing work at the moment, they'll go and do that. The growing capability of the colony, while good, isn't exactly high enough to be able to do the amount I want quickly, so we may need to look into assigning Cynic to growing. I know she is only a level 3, but with lots of experience, she could become quite good. Being in space all the time makes me not even, like... I mean, moving around all the time makes me not check temperature. Right, the plasteel has been mined. The field is finally sown. The fuel situation is ready to start being resolved. I just need someone to start making fuel. And then we are slowly building up our supply of components. I would like to get Lane working on graphite panels instead. So I'm gonna start mining the components from around the map. And it looks like I'm gonna need to assign some more animals to be hunted as well. So I'll do that. The cougar is attempting revenge. It has gone for the person not attacking it. So Frob's gonna take some damage. He does manage to beat it to death, but he is fairly injured. And a mechanoid cluster has arrived on the map. A fairly reinforced one, but it doesn't seem like it'd be awful to go against. I'm probably just not going to, because there's no need, but yeah. We can ignore those for the time being. They don't have a timer or anything, it doesn't look like, so... And it looks like the mining work is nearly done. So I'm gonna get the other components and look around for some more. Oh, there's a big vein down here. I think that's all of them though. Frog is back at the ship. 10 hours. He might collapse. I'm not sure. We get a royal tribute collector though. I mean, we have a little bit of gold, but without a throne room. I mean, are we gonna use the gold though? Is the only thing. Oh. They ran into the fire. That was, a good idea. Alright, I'm gonna have Tree, give them some gold. I mean, we'll see how much they need. Okay. 0.015. I don't know how much that is. 30, 35. Okay, so we need to give them... We need to give them 70 gold for 1 honor. I think we'll just do that, as we don't really need gold right now. We do receive a quest for a crashing shuttle. Rinnick is recruited into the colony. Rinnick is recruited into the colony. I do need to assign Kitsune actually. I thought I'd already done that, but apparently not. And we will assign her to prioritize growing over everything else, and cleaning. Is there anything else we could have her do? Light industrial crafting, I guess, and hunting as well. And then she will be on a nighttime schedule, as we don't have too many hunters that are awake at night. Oh no, we do. I mean, we need more soldiers that are awake at night anyway, so... If we can get to the point where we don't have to wake up people... Like, if we get a raid at night, if we get to the point where we don't have to wake up the daytime people to fight off that raid, and can just do it with that shift's people, then that would be pretty good. It'll probably take a while to get to that point though. I'm not sure how long much longer the series will be going on for as well, actually. It's been 5.5 in-game years. I can't see it going past 8 years, to be honest. This tree has a days. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm not sure how long the series will continue. The main goal of the series is to do the Odyssey playthrough, which is defeating the mech hive, which we know the location of and have done for a good few episodes now, I believe. So it's just about strengthening the ship enough that we have a chance to go up against it. And obviously our colonists as well. If we sent them in, we'd spend so long trying to clear it, because every room we'd just get shredded. So armor and weapons need to be upgraded. Celeste has some insane ramblings. I feel like despite how close she's been to mental breaks for so long, she's had very few, like, actual breakdowns. So I'm not too annoyed with that. A very large number of trees have been cut down, and I'm hoping that they should provide a decent amount of fuel stockpile for the ship. We will see though. Crafter hasn't really been doing any statue work, and that's because marble blocks aren't being made. I have increased their priority, but that's fine. Rinnick does have a mental break. We are gonna need to do something about that. I'm not sure if building it in the same room is going to affect the is going to affect, like, whether it's respected or not. I don't even know what this thing is either. Shape of truth. What is the shape of truth? It's a... yeah, we already made it. I'm hoping they can both be used in one room. Grey is gonna smash things in her room. And that is probably a good signal that we should probably begin the real fiesta. I'm gonna need to turn on the loudspeakers, and we will get to that at once. The real fiesta is fun, and we gain a +8 for 6 days. The chiller in the main room can be turned off. This has probably caused a good few mental breaks. So we can get rid of that. And then the next thing we need to do is think about getting some more the next thing we need to do is think about getting some more colonist bedrooms. I'm just trying to think about where I can make them. We could rearrange where these thrusters are. We will have wasted some vaxstone, but it'd give us quite a bit more room to work with. And we really need the rooms right now. I don't think I reassigned trees jobs. What? I'm so confused. Okay. Well, that's that issue sorted out. When I imprisoned her, I obviously forgot to do her jobs as well. Because I had another issue where, her space suit... where it reset her assignments to area as well. I need to remember that will always... imprisoning people always resets. Right, we can begin the true advent as well. I'll probably give it a couple of days. Okay. I've built a small inner part here as I want to move this down slightly. So I know the space I'm dealing with before I decide on what I do to make rooms next. The first steel vein has been mined, so I'm going to queue up another one. And I'm also going to deconstruct this ruin. Okay, there may have been an issue. I don't know why, but my settings during recording have switched up. I have reverted them back, but I'm not sure if it's going to fix by the end of the video or not. Yeah, it's to do with resolution, so if there's a big cut, I had to cut a large part of the video out because of that. I'm gonna probably have a look at things though and fix that, but I was talking about moving this here, and I'm gonna wall it. Just to try and get a bit more radius down here, so I can see what I'm working with. As I did want to make some new rooms, and the best way I can see to do that is by putting them down here. And that means I need to move these engines, probably in this area. The thrusters, I mean. So I'll have a look at doing that. Right, the thrusters have been moved. The fuel situation is looking good with 1.4k chem fuel. All of the fuel tanks are full up, which is great. We don't have a surplus of wood anymore though, which is something we're going to need to work on. Crafter is finally working on sculptures. So next episode we can start working on removing some of these mood debuffs that have been plaguing us for ages, with like 6 or 7 of our colonists not having bedrooms. I am going to end the episode here though. I feel like the recording has been going on for a while. So thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the series, please consider liking and subscribing. It would massively help the channel out and lets me know you're enjoying the content I produce. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.